In exercise number 5, given a circle C of center O and radius 4 centimeter. So at the beginning we will draw the circle. So we measure using the compass 4 centimeter. Then we start drawing. This is the center O and the diameter is AB. Now the perpendicular bisector of OB cuts the circle in M and N and cuts OB at I. So at the beginning we know OB is 4 centimeter, it's the radius of the circle, so we measure 2 centimeter. Then we draw the perpendicular bisector of OB. The perpendicular bisector cuts the circle in 2 points M and N and cuts the segment OB at point I. In part A, show that OBM is an equilateral triangle. So at the beginning we have to join O with M and M with B. Okay? We know that OB is equal to OM radii in the same circle. 2 radii in the same circle. And we know that OM is equal to MB because M is a point on the perpendicular bisector of OB. Any point on the perpendicular bisector is equidistant from both extremities. So since OB is equal to OM and OM is equal to MB, then we can deduce that OB is equal to OM equal to MB. Then the triangle OMB is an equilateral triangle. Part B, what is the nature of the quadrilateral OMBN? So we join O with N and N with B. Similarly, N is a point on the perpendicular bisector of OB. So ON is equal to BN. And we know that ON is equal to OM, 2 radii in the same circle. So, and OM equal to MB proved previously. So we have 4 equal sides, then OMBN is a rhombus. So now we will write the proof. Part B, so we know that ON is equal to MB, N is a point on the perpendicular bisector. So N is equidistant from both extremities. But ON is equal to OM, 2 radii in the same circle. And OM is equal to MB proved in part A. Then ON is equal to NB equal to OM equal to NB. So the quadrilateral OMBN is a rhombus with 4 equal sides. Part C. Suppose that IM is equal to 3.5 centimeter. So I to 3.5 centimeter. And since OMBN is a rhombus, then the diagonals bisect each other. So IN is also 3.5 centimeter. And we know that OB is 4 centimeter. So this is 2 and this is 2. So they asked us to find the area of OMBN. The area of OMBN, which is a rhombus, is MN, the first diagonal, times the second diagonal OB over 2. MN is 7 centimeter, OB is 4 centimeter over 2. 7 times 4 is 28 over 2, so it's 14 centimeter square. Then they asked about the perimeters. The perimeter of OMBN. We know that OM is 4 centimeter, a radius in the circle. So the perimeter is 4 times 4, which is 16 centimeter. Part D. E is the midpoint of BM. So BM is 4 centimeter, the side of a rhombus. So at 2 centimeter we put the point E. K is the symmetric of I with respect to E. So we measure from E to I, it's 2 centimeter. Then we extend the line IE and we measure from point E 2 centimeter and we put the point K. What is the type of MIBK? So at the beginning we have to join the lines of the quadrilateral. So we join B with K and M with B. We know that K is the symmetric of I with respect to E. So this line is equal to this. So IE is equal to EK. And we know that E is the midpoint of MB. So ME is equal to EB. So the diagonals bisect each other. So this quadrilateral is at the beginning a parallelogram. But we know that MIB is a right angle because MN is the perpendicular bisector of OB. So if we have a palm with one right angle, then it is a rectangle. For D, we know that IE is equal to EK. K is the symmetric of I with respect to E. And we know that ME is equal to EB. E is the midpoint of MB. So MIBK is a par because the diagonals bisect each other. But OMIB, the angle MIB is equal to 90 degrees. Why? Because MN is the perpendicular bisector of OB. Then MIBK is a rectangle. Why? Because it is a par having one right angle. Then they asked us to find its area and perimeter for the quadrilateral MIBK. Concerning the area of a rectangle, its length times width. So the length is 3.5 given before, which is IM, and the width is 2 centimeter because I is the midpoint of OB and OB is the radius of the circle. So area of MIBK, its length times width, so it's 3.5 times 2, so it's equal to 7 centimeters squared. The perimeter of MIBK, which is a rectangle, its length times 2 plus width times 2. We said that the length is 3.5 and the width is 2. So the perimeter of MIBK, which is a rectangle, its length times 2 plus width times 2. So it's a 3.5 times 2 plus 2 times 2. So it's 7 plus 4, so it's 11 centimeter. Thank you.